When creation was originally made, it was declared good. We see it over and over again in that creation account. And it was good, and it was good, it was good. And then fast forward to Romans 8. And we have a famous passage in Romans 8:22 where it says creation is groaning. And the question for me is, what's gone wrong? Clearly it's something wrong with creation if it is groaning. This is not a positive connotation word. So Paul wrote those words in Romans, and I have to think, what was Paul thinking when he wrote that? And we got to recognize that Paul was not privy to climate change, right? I don't think climate change was on Paul's mind. I don't think the loss of biodiversity was on Paul's mind. Like extinction wasn't even a thing to Paul. So when Paul's talking about creation groaning, I think what he's referring to is not what we would call the modern day ecological crisis or the biodiversity crisis, but I think he's coming back to that theological idea that humans have not played their role in mediating God's blessing onto creation. We have dropped the ball in our role as of bestowing God's blessing on creation. If you actually look throughout that passage in Romans, it's like creation is waiting for the sons of man to be revealed, which is basically saying, humans, do your job, right? Now, it's groaning with eager anticipation. It's groaning as in the pains of childbirth. So there's this hint that there is a hope to come. And in fact, if you go beyond verse 22 to verses 23 and 24, we see hope coming into the picture. Well, what is the hope to which creation aspires? All of creation ultimately is there to glorify God. And if we go to the original picture of creation in Eden, this is, many biblical scholars will say, this is the first temple. A temple is where God dwelled. And on day 7, we see, and God rested. And biblical scholars would say the Hebrews would have interpreted that to say creation is functioning, creation is at peace, and importantly, God is here. And we see the story in Eden of God walking through the garden in the cool of the day. This, if I can anthropomorphize a little bit, is what creation wants. If creation is to glorify God, creation wants to be in the presence of God, just as our desire is to be in the presence of God. Sin screwed that up, right? Sin put this big separation, selfish behavior of humans, put this big separation between creation and God. Then, the pivotal point of history, Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus is here. Right? Now this anticipates the new creation. We have this idea that we fly away, that when we are with God, and what we're aspiring to is this like these souls on clouds strumming harps in heaven. This is not the biblical picture of the end time. The new creation is not us flying away, but God coming to earth. The new creation is earthy and earthly, and we still have a role in that new creation. We don't just sit on clouds. There will still be gardening in the new creation, right? We will still be getting our hands dirty in the new creation. And creation is groaning in eager expectation to be in the presence of God again, when God comes to earth, when humans are fulfilling their role, when God can once again walk in the cool of the garden, because sin has finally been destroyed and heaven and earth come together.